I get so many phone calls from potential clients that wants to have their own personal brand. They want to be known for their profession, for what they are doing. They want to write books. They want to make lectures. They want to talk in front of people all over the world. They want to have very successful TikTok and Instagram pages with millions of subscribers, but they just don't know where to start. They are afraid of the camera. They are shy. They don't know what's the next stages, who they are talking to, what they are saying. And sometimes when they start creating content, it's just random content. They just upload this post and that post. Sometimes they're coffee, sometimes they're, going to the beach, and it doesn't serve their purpose. In this video, I'm gonna give you all the tips and tricks, no gatekeeping whatsoever, of how I created amazing content strategies for some of the biggest personal brands in the world, creating over $1 billion in revenue for the companies I worked with. And it all starts with a simple plan, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how it's being done, no gatekeeping whatsoever, like I said, and it's all gonna be in this video. So come on, business owners, get those hands ready to work, and let's get going. So our tools for today, what we're gonna use. So first and foremost, we're gonna use our mind. Yes, that box over here, we're gonna use and gonna exercise a lot with our brain. We're gonna think a lot, we're gonna write a lot, the crucial part for us to be able to get our content strategy successful. So this is the first tool. The two extra tools that are going to help us work with our brain is Perplexity, which we're going to use for a little bit of research. We're going to use it to create better researches, and also ChatGPT to eventually conclude everything and create the full content strategy. That's it. You don't need a lot. We need to get going. Let's go. But as always, before we dive in, we're going to talk about the logic for what we're doing. So we're going to move to the desk. First, we're going to talk about identity, because I want to know, who are you? What if people will know, what are you talking about? Who are you as a person? What kind of experiences we went through? That are the things that people will relate to. And we want always, in our marketing, in our branding, we want people to relate to a story, to feel emphasized by you, to feel great and to feel empowered by your story. So identity, this is maybe the most interesting thing, because that will take us to the heart of our listeners, to our viewers. We want to make sure that people will follow our story, our heart, our passion, our joy, and every piece of content that we create will get it out there. So identity, this is number one. Second of all is your business. What are you offering? Okay, so you capture people with your identity, with your story, with your passion, with everything you are doing. That's amazing. That's the first and maybe the most important thing. But the second important thing is, what are your business? What can you contribute to those people? What is your experience? What kind of information you can give? What kind of value you can give to others? Because as long as, you can have the most amazing identity, the most amazing story, the most inspirational, really, people can be amazingly related to what you're saying. But if you don't give them any value, if you don't help them, if you don't come with any sort of experience, with knowledge, with performance of some sort, people will just listen to you for 2-3 seconds and then they will go away. So your business, your expertise, your passion, the things you are doing in life, those are the things you're gonna also talk a lot in this content strategy, and make sure that it's fully understandable, both what is your business doing, okay, so let's write it down, doing, and what do you offer, okay? So what is your source of expertise? What are you doing? And what can you offer to those people? Because yes, we want to make sure that people, that you are reachable to people. The people know what is your offer. What can you do for them? You're gonna give so much information and knowledge and be so helpful for a lot of people. And some people would like to cherish you for that, would like to use your expertise that you've given throughout those videos, and they want to approach you. So we want to make sure that you are, one, reachable, and second, that you have a very good offer to give them. So this is number two. Third is your audience. Guys, this is why I'm doing rectangles here instead of just circles, because this is maybe the most important question. And why audience is the most important question, you ask? Because if you don't understand that there is a certain amount of people, a certain niche of people, a certain interest that people have, that you are speaking directly to them, you will just won't be able to create good content. And why I'm saying that? Because a lot of business owners that approach me say, hey, my niche is everyone. I can help anyone around. So let's give an example of an insurance broker. Okay, he says, I can sell insurance to anyone. I can sell insurance to young kids for their teeth, and I can sell insurance to elders. That's amazing. But as a content creator, as someone who wants to help people, to want to get out there and to be heard by other people, you must choose some sort of audience. And for most cases, when you understand your audience, then all the other people, even those that outside of your niche, also hear you, because they hear your authenticity and they understand that you are the right person for them. A lot of times, let's give the insurance broker as an example. My clients came to me and they were, let's say, we chose their niche as an insurance broker for the elderly, okay? And sometimes the kids of the elderly, you know, saw his videos online, saw his videos on TikTok, let's say, for example, and they wanted to have insurance too. They trusted this person so much. They wanted to use his services, even though he creates his content for elderly people. So these are the things you can do. Next thing is pillars, okay? Yeah, we're gonna use pillars a lot in your content because we want to understand what kind of content you can create. And you know, the thing is that sometimes you will just be out of ideas. You have no idea what kind of content you could create. And the thing that can save you out of it is pillars, exactly this thing. And why pillars are so important? Because you also need to make sure that your audience understand and know what you're going to do. Like any video, you know, of mine, let's say, have some sort of a structure. You want to make sure that your page has a structure as well, that you are speaking about certain things, that you are that your video looks in the right way. Okay, so all those things are things that are getting stuck in someone's mind, and it's super, super powerful. So make sure you are going to use pillars as well. So these are the, let's say, more profound things. Okay, the upper row here in this piece of paper. The second row is where you do, or the more technicality part of it. Okay, so platforms. Okay. And platforms may seem like a pretty odd question because you might say, hey, I can use any platform, you know, I can use TikTok and I can use Instagram and I can use Facebook, and it's true, but it's very rare for someone to be good in all of those platforms together. It's usually just one or maybe two. So we must choose the right platform for our audience. Okay, you see, this is why I connected it with arrows and dots, because our audience needs to be in the platform we are using. Okay, if we are an insurance market for the elderly, it's much it's no good for us to be on TikTok, for example, because right, there are more elderly people on TikTok. It does happen, but for now, until at least 2, 3, 5, 4 years, it will still be full of young people, and we can't find them over there. So it will be much more difficult for us to actually get clients. We maybe get viral on TikTok, okay, which is amazing, and it's a great tool, but we won't get any clients. So I highly recommend you to choose the platform based on your audience, okay? And if you do that, it likely will be more successful for you. And the other thing we're going to talk about is workflow, okay? Because content is a daily routine, it's a daily grind, it's a weekly grind. So we want to make sure we have right workflows for you as a business owner, so it will be easy for you, manageable, cost effective, all those things, because it's a long run game, it's a long marathon. You never know when's your next video going to be viral. So if you won't have your right workflow going, you just won't be able to make it for a long time, and that's not the thing we want. It needs to be easy and manageable for you to happen, and if it's not like that, it's not good. So we're going to discuss workflow as well. And the last stage, this is why it's on the last row as well, it's optimization. It's not enough for you just create content and that's it, and put it out there and see what's going on. No, you have to measure, you have to understand what's working, what's not. And luckily there are so many great tools to do that, and we're going to learn about some of them in this episode. So this is our logic, and now we're going to start doing. So we cleared our table, and now we'll start digging. And we're going to start, as I said, with the first question, with identity. Because I want you to start dig deep under your soul. And you need to really, be profound about this question. Because a lot of people think that, hey, I'm going to just present my professional identity. I'm going to talk about me as an insurance broker and the fact that I'm helping people, and that's it. We're gonna end it there. And the fact is that it's so wrong. We need to show ourselves, our true selves, our real life, our real problems, the reason we are doing what you're doing, who we are, what we are, Those are the things that actually connect people to us. Because if I would just tell you that I'm an insurance broker and I help you, get your life insurance, would be no. You will understand that and we start, talking to me about insurance, but probably won't buy from me. You won't buy from me because you haven't been connected to me. We haven't made any sort of connection together. But if I tell you that I'm an insurance broker because my grandfather died, unfortunately, because he didn't have the right insurance, this is why I'm an insurance broker, and I can tell you about the story, and maybe you can relate because you had a relative that passed away unnaturally, then this is the way to start performing for creating some sort of connection. And this is what we're trying to do here. So we need to make sure that we also present our professional side, which is very important. We have to show our professionalism, but we also have to show the fact that we are real human beings and we have reason, we have emotions, and we have a why to what we are doing, what we're doing. So please, while you are fearing the who I am question, this is the first question you're gonna answer here. And by the way, this entire video is gonna be questions that you're gonna answer by yourselves. And then at the last video, the last bit of it, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna do with the answers you created. And a hint is gonna be some sort of a GPT prompt that you're gonna use all of the questions inside, and you're gonna get your content strategy. So the first question is definitely who I am. I want to talk about your personal details, how many kids you have, if you have, where are you living, where have you born, if you are living in a different place, tell us about that, your age, your hobbies, really the story, your life story, what you've been going through in life, what things have led you to perform, to create your profession as of now, to do what you're doing right now. Is it some sort of life experience that you've been through? Anything that can be about you, about yourself, unnecessarily about the business, but about yourself. If you feel that you have some sort of mission, okay, if you are on a mission in your profession to do something, to help someone, okay, so definitely write it down, make it very, very thorough, as we said. The next question is going to ask is about your business. You remember that, right? So we're going to talk about our business a little bit. And the business is a different entity from ourselves. We need to understand that some people think that they are the business, which is sometimes correct. If you are the only employee in your company, most of cases you are correct, but you need to remember that even if you are solopreneur as of now and you want to develop and become bigger than what you are doing today, you need to start think about you and your business as different entities, okay? And maybe even in plural, you need to say, you talk about us as a business, even if you are alone, that's okay. And of course, if you have employees, then you need to understand that you have you as a person. We have Elias, which is me, and I have O Media, which is my company, and there are two different entities. There are people that work in O Media that are not me, and O Media is a company that has different needs and desires, which is not me. So we have to understand both of them. So in that case, we also want to learn more about the company. How many people are in the company, if any? If you have any offices, where are they? Why have you founded? What was the reason? When were you founded? If it's a partnership or it's you alone. If you are not a business owner and you just aspire to be a business owner, then write about it as a future idea. Okay, think about the future business of yourself as something which is present right now. Talk about that. Talk about the mission of the company. What are you looking for to achieve? And of course, talk about the products. Okay, I want to understand what kind of products do you sell? What kind of products do you sell the most? Okay, what kinds of because at the end of the day, products are solved problems. Okay, so I want to understand how what kind of problems you solve the most. Okay, if you are, let's go back to the insurance broker example. If you are selling a lot of life insurances, okay, for the elderly, because it's the most important policy for them right now, then talk about it. Say that. If you are not selling at all other insurances that you try to sell, okay, if you're not trying to sell, let's say, pet policies, don't talk about it. But if you are trying to sell pet policies and you're not succeeding, please write it down as well, because that will allow us to maybe think of a way to put pet policies up front, let's say, more than others, or in addition, I'm always into go for what you are selling more, because if you are selling something in higher quantities right now, it means that you are you're giving right solution, that you are getting good connection with people outside in the market, the people are understanding your solution, and they are willing to put their money on it. So try to expand that more rather than finding new areas to work with. I mean, you can always find new areas to work with, but first of all, see that you are giving the right amount of time for something that, at the end of the day, make the company go up and front and strong. So that's another thing. And if there is any certain, problems that you solve or things that you are doing, please also mention that here, because all those things will help us, take the entire content you are doing. We're always trying to create, value for our listeners, but we want also to understand how can we connect it into actually selling and what kind of product you can lead. Okay, and all those things will definitely go into our content strategy. So that is about the business. Another important question for me is your current digital presence. Sometimes people have no digital presence at all, which is okay. If you have no Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, no LinkedIn, even if you have a personal one, it's a very important thing to say. Even if you have a personal Facebook, which you upload, your kids or your dogs or whatever you want, please do mention it, because if you have active account in those platforms and you have 200 friends right now on Facebook, let's say, for example, it's still 200 more than 0, okay? And if you're starting from scratch, it may be helpful for you in the short term, but in the long term, it will be much better to start from a page that has some sort of subscribers or likes or views, because that will allow people that know you right now, that they are good friends, sometimes they are family, sometimes they are good friends, people that are root for you, they cheer for you, they want you to succeed, they will be your first fans. They will start sharing your content, they will start talking about your content, they are the first that see your content and will greet you on that and give you those good feelings when we just publish content and no one sees it. So they will be the ones that see it, and they will talk to you about it, and they will be emotional with you, which is amazing. So do mention everything. And if you have certain platforms that you are very good at, okay, that you are successful, if you are very good on LinkedIn, if you have a good profile on LinkedIn, if you have a good profile on TikTok, and you are very successful over there, that means you understood some sort of platform, which is amazing. And we're looking for that, because if you are not understanding any sort of platform right now, you're just in a try and error phase. So basically, you just need to try again and fail and try and fail until you get your first viral video. I couldn't forget my first viral video. So if you are not into that yet, if you manage to understand some sort of platform, please do mention it, because that will allow us to give some more leverage to this platform and create some more content over there. Because you understand that if you're not understanding platform as of now, if you haven't found your route, let's say, you'll have to create a lot of content and wait for the success, and sometimes it will be very, very unpredictable. So now we're gonna talk about our audience. Who are our targeted audience? This is the question I want you to answer on this stage. And this is very, very important question. And I talked about it a little bit in the logic section, but I want to be a little bit even more, vigilant about that. I want to make sure that you completely understand what you're saying here. This is maybe the most important question, and people tend to underestimate it a lot, and it's really, really unfortunate, because if you understand who are your targeted audience, you will be able to affect them in better way than other people. And if you affect them in other people, you will be able to make them buy from you, which is what we want, basically. So if you understand that you are not talking for anyone in the world, but you are talking for a very, very specific people with specific problem, it will just allow you to be more successful, faster, and easier. For example, let's go back to lawyer now, okay? Another very important profession. And of course, we'll give some more examples, maybe with real estate brokers a little bit later. So let's talk about lawyers, okay? If you are now a family lawyer, family law officer, which means that you are helping, divorced mothers, divorced fathers, etc. And you are a man and you've been to divorce yourself. So if you will understand that you can work for a female, for women, for wives, okay, under divorce. It may also work, and you will be very good at that. But if you understand that if you've been through what your client has been through before, it's much more powerful because you understand what he's been going through. And as I told you, buying from someone is 90% of the time not, it doesn't come from the mind, it comes from the emotion, it comes from what we're feeling, from our emotions. So we have to understand that if we make our client trust us, if we make sure that we understand what he's going through right now, he understands our problems, he understands our current specific issue, it will just make us trust us more, and that way he will actually buy from us. And if we will not make that, we can be the most professional people and the hardworking people, and we can make tens, thousands of follow-ups, and we can give another call, but we just won't close the sale. It doesn't matter how long we're going to try. So if you will be able to connect with certain kind of clients and understand their problems and be, emotionally connected with them, it will just help you to reach your clients' hearts, and that way you can get them around. So understand that your niche is most likely people that are like you, okay? For most cases, men will talk better with men. Women will talk better with women. Age is also a thing, right? If I'm, let's say, 30 years old right now, I'm probably 30 years old will understand me better than 60 years old or 20 or 15 years old, because we are speaking the same language. We had the same life experiences. We've seen the same TV shows. Okay, so we have a lot of things to connect about. So this is another thing. And also understand that the best way to approach a business is by being someone that already solves the problem your clients have. For example, if you are a trainer, a gym trainer, and you've been obese before and you managed to lose, let's say, 200 pounds, okay, it helps you, it makes you so much more, gives you so much more credibility, because people will actually believe you. So that amazing transformation you've done for yourself, so you can help me, lose my dead bod. All right. So those are the things that we are looking for. Understand that you are most likely, but you will see it on yourselves as well. If you're already experienced as a business owner, you will see that you will have one a product that you are selling more than others, and for usually it's because it's a good product, yes, of course, but because you manage to explain it better, because you manage to get connected those with your leads, with your potential buyers faster and easier, because you actually have good emotional connection with them. So you will see that on yourself, on your own clients. You see that there is always one type of clients who sell more to the others. Okay, I saw that I'm selling to, for me, I'm a little bit of an old soul. Okay, so I'm selling to people that are 40, 50, 60 years old more than other people. I just find better connection with them. I've always been an old soul. So for me, it's a little bit older crowd I'm always good at. For my brother, for example, it's always the younger crowd for him. So he's better with talking with younger people. So it's always all about you, and you can see it on yourself, on the people you actually manage to sell. So the question here is, what is your targeted audience? And please be as specific as possible. The age, the gender, the problems that he has, the things that he's going through. If you know if he has a different or related hobbies or things that he's doing, please be specific as possible. Okay, next question we're going to talk about, it's also part of our audience and targeted, is goals. Okay, want to understand what are your goals. Okay, you are creating content now, you are talking, you're going to invest so much time and money and efforts and and stress, uploading that video, waiting for the result, getting yourself out there, getting yourself out of in front of the camera. It's also a very hard thing. People are underestimating it for no good reason. It's really tough, even for people. I've been on television for over 15 years of my life, and it's still tough for me to open a camera. Sometimes, postponing to the end of the day. So don't feel bad about it, by the way, if you're feeling bad when you are opening a camera. So we're gonna go this entire journey, okay? Sometimes alone, sometimes, spending a lot of money on studios, photographers, videographers, etc., to get something. Even if you are telling yourself, okay, I'm not doing it for the money, I'm doing it to help people, to give value, okay, to get my knowledge out there, for people to learn, to be better. That's okay. That's an amazing goal, by the way, but you have to have some sort of goal, because you need your progress to be measured in some way. We need to understand that right now we are in a certain stage, and in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months we are in a different stage. Okay, so whether if it's likes or views, it's money, it's new products, it's new opportunities, all of those things are amazing goals, but we have to get them aligned. We have to talk about them and make sure it's written and it's also measurable. We want to understand that it's something that if it doesn't happen, so we haven't stood our goal. But try to be to set yourself realistic goals. Okay, don't go for the moon. Okay, don't say I'm going to be the president of the US next year. It's not going to happen. But try to make something that you can actually do, that it's possible. Okay, I'll get 1,000 copies sold for my next book, let's say, for example. That's a great goal to have. Or I will talk in front of a crowd. Okay, because when you get those goals into your mind, it will allow the world, the universe, to start working for you, for them. So set your goals, set your success metrics. Try to have, a feasible goal, like let's say helping people and giving value, and also metric goals. I'll have 1,000 listeners to my podcast next year. So try to have something that it's measurable with numbers, and also something that it's a little bit less measurable. Try to have them both, and then you can play with those metrics, with those goals, and see which of them are better. Next one is brand perception. It's also a very important thing. It wasn't part of our logic, but it's very important thing that I want you to talk about and think about, is the fact that probably in 2026, we haven't invented anything, okay? It's very hard to invent anything, and if you are, a business owner, you're probably doing something that other people are doing, okay? You can be very good a gym trainer or very good real estate broker, which is amazing, but there are probably more real estate brokers in your area, or more gym trainers, even if you're in your gym, in your home gym that you're training. So we must understand what we are doing different, in what way we are different than other people. And the answer to that goes back to our audience question, which is basically, we need to understand that our life story, the things we've done before, the things we've been through, our journey is part of our brand perception, because we understand that we need people to relate to us, and if people relate to us by our personal story, and we can help them get an inspiration with our personal story, that's a way to differentiate us from people. It's not just, hey, this is Elias the gym trainer. This is Elias the gym trainer. They've lost 100 pounds. He's been through a journey, a hustle. People appreciate good hustle. So think about your brand perception. What are you doing different than others? It can be in a personal story, by the way. It can be in a different product that you have, in a different process that you have, in a different guarantee that you have. If you can guarantee some sort of result, okay, I can guarantee that you will lose 100 pounds in 6 months, let's say, for example, okay? If you can do something else, do something different than what you are doing, it's always a bonus. So think about that and answer that. What is your brand perception? What is the differentiation, the different thing you are doing from your competition, from the people that doing your profession as of now? Another important question is values. What are your values? Okay, what you as a human being, what do you stand for? People are appreciating that. People like to follow someone that they share values with, not just a personal story, but also values. Okay, so let's say if I'm a liberal, okay, I will most likely share my opinions with more liberal person. But liberal is just, we don't want to go into politics, but let's say we're going to talk about helping for the weak, okay, helping for the poor. If you are someone that can also show in your content that you are helping for the poor, it's not something that you're doing, just for content, but it's also something that is very important to you. If you can show it, if you can talk about it, those are the things that will make people relate to you. They will feel connected to you. So we have to put it out front. If you are someone that likes dogs a lot, okay, and you help stray dogs, finding a shelter, okay, all those things are amazing values that we need to share. We need to show in our content strategy that you are a full person. You're not just someone that wants to sell something. You are a real person, full person, that's here for a reason, for a cause. Remember the Blues Brothers movie, I have a mission from God. Those are the kind of people that are succeeding, because when you have a mission, when people understand that you are here for something, and it's not just money, it's okay to be for money, but it's not just money. If you can be for something, people appreciate it, and also for you in your mind, you have a real goal that keeps you forward even when you're not getting any traction outside. So even if sales are not going in, even if likes or views are not coming in, you still have very good reason to continue in what you're doing. And sometimes the thing is only, going forward and continue doing what you're doing in a routine, day after day. Those things usually, and the people that are on a continuous level, day after day, those are the people that succeed, and not only, sometimes it's not the most successful people, the beautiful, or the smartest. It's the people that work and grind day after day. So if you have good values, if you believe with all your heart in those values, that are the things that keeps you going forward. So answer this question, please. What values guide you and your business? Okay, now we are coming back to the logic page and talking about topics. I want to understand our content pillars, because at the end of the day, you have to have some sort of pillars that your content are going to. Those can be, certain types of videos. It can be certain type of information. It can be certain types of features, things in your video, things that you feature in your videos that are continuously returning. Okay, let's say if you're talking about real estate broker, it can be around certain properties that you have. It can be around certain tips that you have as someone that leaves a market. It can be misconceptions. Okay, if you hearing people, people think that you can't buy apartment in the city, you can talk about and maybe go against this misconception. So if you have this sort of pillars of things that you are doing on a regular basis on topics that you are talking about, it helps you to create content all the time, because you always have a sort of pillar that something is happening over there. So think about the topics you want to talk about, and think about the topics also that you don't want to talk about. Okay, let's say if you talk about politics, okay, I think that politics is the worst question someone can ask, okay, because it's always dividing. It's never going to the good way. Even if you are agreeing on the direction, there's always some sort of an argument around politics. So it just never goes in the right way. So I don't want to talk about politics. It's something that I decided I don't want to have in my content. So you need to think of the things you want to talk about and also the things you don't want to talk about. Set some sort of boundaries for the content you are creating. And also, if you have some sort of ideas for the things you want to say and do, also include those in your content strategy as well. Answer this question as well. We're gonna use it as well. Okay, next stage gonna be our workflow, because we want to understand in this stage, how are you gonna create your content? Because let me tell you, maybe the best tip I have for content creation, it's not about the quality of your production, or sometimes even the quality of your content. Sometimes it's about persistence and about consistency. So as long as you continue upload content, continue creating content, people will find you at the end of the day and it will work. So you need to find ways to make sure it's working for you, and that way is workflow. You just need to make sure that you have some sort of a time, a system that helps you create content consistently. For example, it can be a certain day when you get your office and you put all the video gear up and you're creating content for the entire month. It can be a certain hour of a week which you are dedicating yourself to creating content. It can be a certain video editor that you send your videos to him and you have a certain deadline. Okay, so if you won't send the videos by tomorrow afternoon, you won't have any videos to upload. So you need to have some sort of commitment and a system that helps you create it. So it can be definitely around certain times of the week that you work in. It's either shooting, it's either scripting, it's editing or uploading the content. It can be around certain, companies or professionals that you are working with, and you have a commitment to them to create the content for you. So you have to work with them to provide the content. But it has to be some sort of system that will be easier for you, it will be cost effective for you, something you can hold within your budget for a lot of time, something that will be very, very comfortable for you. You will feel comfortable doing it, you feel comfortable performing, giving your best shot to perform at the best level you can. So all those things has to be together, and you can find a system that does that for you. Sometimes you need to develop it, sometimes you need to have some sort of trial and error in order to understand. You need to be in some sort of a content program, see if it's working for you. If it's not, you need to go back and find the right one. So those are all the things that you have to consider before you create the content. And it's very important to have them as well in your content strategy so you can implement it in your plan. So that is the workflow. Please answer the question: how are you gonna create the content? What is your workflow gonna be like? Okay, guys, so as you can see, we have some very nice answers for the questions I asked, and now it's time to do the manipulation, to create the content strategy. But before we dive into that, remember I told you about Perplexity, another very important and very interesting AI program. And on Perplexity, the benefits of Perplexity for me especially is research. Something that I'm sometimes lazy to do, which I'm very, very happy that we have something like Perplexity. But what Perplexity can do, we can give Perplexity a lot of information, and based on that, it can create some sort of a research for us. So what I will do, I will just share the kind of research that we are doing with the questions we answered them before we're diving into our content strategy. Okay, guys, look at that. Look what we have got from Perplexity. Amazing, amazing work. Kudos to Perplexity, really. It's an amazing tool. So the market research we've done, as you can see, we've given all the information of some of my very successful clients, recent clients, and we gave them, they are doing real estate in Greece, in Athens. So it just highlighted their competition. So first of all, it's one company named Palmo. This is everything they have to offer based on what we are doing, what they're doing, what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses. Amazing, amazing information. Another company named Go Greece, also same thing. What are they doing good, what they're not so good at. All those things are here. Also, we can getting some sort of a table with the good things, the bad things, all the things that they can improve and do better. Direct and indirect content first competitors, which means that here they can find content creators that are talking to the same audience like them, see what amazing result is. So there is another investment channel that are talking about real estate, Facebook groups that talking about real estate. Also, they can maybe post there or provide information there. They are what are their market level players, white spaces and strategies. Look, amazing amount of content we are getting here. Practical recommendations, what kind of content they should post with all the information and everything. Community distribution, market map summary with their competition, indirect competitors. Really, this is amazing. This is like gold for us. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do the prompt that does all prompts. So we're gonna create our content strategy now, and we're gonna include three things. We're gonna have a prompt for the content strategy, also a copy paste, we'll show you in a second. We're gonna have the market research, and we're gonna have the questions you've answered. So let's combine all of them together. So we have the beautiful copy, but before we copy, we just take this prompt that we have here. Using the strategic profile below, basically it's taking all the information we just said and creates the content strategy from it. So we're gonna just copy and paste. Like before, you're gonna get it just ready for you to copy and paste. Let's open our GPT to do that. So I'm just gonna copy this one. I'm gonna copy the steps from 1 to 10, which is here. And we're gonna also include the market research. Again, simple copy and paste, 1 and 2. Don't try to erase things out. Has no idea to do that. All right, I'm excited. Let's see what we're gonna get. Okay, guys, so we have it ready. It took a few minutes. I won't lie to you. I'm not used for ChatGPT to work so hard for something, but definitely we earned our money's worth in the Pro model. So let's see what we got. We have full content strategy, as I said, for our clients with the positioning, with everything. When I talk about brand positioning summary, brand essence, perception goal, core narrative, brand personality, all those things are gold for you as content creators, trust me. So you have audience definition. Look at how divided the clients are, their nationality, their ages, their salaries, how much money they have to invest. Everything is very, very niche down, and those things will help you succeed much better, trust me. So you have all the content angles and psychological hooks and fears and barriers. Those things are amazing because you can have, so many ideas from content just from this point, just from these few words. that we have here. We have strategic goals and KPIs. What we want to have is qualified leads. We want to have guided deal investors. We want to create an investor community. Amazing. Brand goals, content KPIs. As you can see, all of them are measurable. So we have numbers, 1,000 subscribers, 40 to 60% retention, monthly impressions. All those things are measurable, and those things are very important for us. Let's talk about competitors. We have those over there, but on the Perplexity, but here we have it a little bit more concealed, more concluded. So let's talk about the gaps. It took the gaps part. We saw the opportunities, you might say, from Perplexity and implemented it here. So we have all the angles, or everything. We have the content pillars. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pillars. Amazing. We have ideas for content series of content, basically. Amazing, 7 of them. Platform strategy. We're talking about why we are in any strategy and what we are doing over there. So we have YouTube, we have Instagram and TikTok, we have LinkedIn, we have Facebook groups over here. Also, it's your decision at the end of the day, your call. And what is the workflow? It suggested the workflow. So here it's a podcast, and then editing short clips out of it, both medium clips for YouTube and short clips for social media, repurposing as well. What is the brand voice, style guide, what to amplify, what to avoid, lead generation integration, 90-day action plan. Those things really are gold, guys. This is a plan from the kind that you can be very, very successful online if you just take this plan and run forward with it. And this is exactly the idea. So that's it, guys. We have everything. And as I told you, I'm not gatekeeping anything. I've showed you everything, the entire process. It's a long video. So we talked about the questions we have to ask ourselves. We talked about the tools, the AI tools we're using. I gave you the exact prompts. You have all the tools you need to create an amazing content strategy. All you need to do is follow on your way to success. So if you like this video, please consider subscribing and also leaving a like down here, and maybe recommend this video to a friend of you that you want to help as well. And you can also see the videos here and here. Maybe you like them too. You can also follow me on entire social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, here on YouTube, as we discussed. And that's all the time we have for today, guys. So thank you so much and good luck.